Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for another episode of Customizing Culture, the Heat Press Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jared Barbosa, and today I have a very special guest. He's an old pal, probably one of my oldest Heat Press friends out there right now, none other than Vince from DTF Station. Vince, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing great, Jared. Thank you so much for having me. It feels really good to be back at the old stomping grounds.
Dude, it's been a long time. We both started I think you started January 2016?
Yeah, that
Something like that?
sounds right. I think you started just like right after me, right?
Yeah, I was just a few months after in like April or something.
Yeah,
So
no, and
yeah.
you were one of the first person that like got really close with pretty quickly, right? Like, we were
Yeah.
the new guys, so
Yeah, and we had the trips. We'll
Mhm.
get into that right now.
Yeah.
So really quick, for the people who don't know you,
Mhm.
can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Vincent with DTF Station. I am the product manager, and honestly, my biggest title is going out and helping our dealers, such as Heat Press Nation. I do a lot of traveling. You'll see me at trade shows. If you see DTF Station's name, you'll probably see me along with it. So thank you for having me, Jared.
Yeah, dude, we're really grateful for you taking the time to come out here. Because yeah, I know you are super busy, and you get to go to a lot of fun places. And I'm glad you picked this fun place today. So let's dive in. So first, I got to hear more about your story. So like I mentioned, me and Vince, we did start out here at Heat Press Nation around the same time. You left a few years later. Can you kind of just talk us through your timeline? Because I know you're at DTF Station now.
Yeah.
But when you first made the jump, that was to a different company.
Yeah. So, what's a crazy story? Someone asked how long I've been in the industry, and I was like, dude, almost 10 years at this point.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we are coming up on 10 years. But,
Yep.
it's really cool is I got my start here at Heat Press Nation, and so we were in the industry. I was in the industry already with heat presses and different forms of vinyls and all that good stuff. But when I left, I went into the digital side, right? And so I went with direct-to-garment printers, solvent, UV, all that stuff, and selling printers. But then, of course, DTF came out, and that's when we pivoted so quickly to create DTF Station.
Yeah, man, DTF is so funny because when you were doing direct to garment,
Mhm.
I thought direct to garment was the big wave.
Yeah.
Like I really did. And I'm sure a lot of people did. And it was a big wave.
Mhm.
And then DTF comes out and I was just like, whoa. Like I've been kind of watching it. Because, I got my ear to the ground. I'm at the trade shows. Not like you, but,
Yeah.
let me correct myself. I'm at the Long Beach trade shows.
It's down the street. Yeah, it's not very far.
I'm a
Ye-
cheater.
Yeah, DTG for how long it was popular, it was probably one of the best printing methods,
Yeah.
but people didn't realize how difficult it was to actually DTG onto a t-shirt. It's not just printing on a t-shirt, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so when DTF came out, I think everyone's kind of ears opened up like, hey, hold on, like, let's check this out. Like, is this a legit process? Was it better than DTG, And it took a long time to kind of get going, but yeah, DTF is just so big right now, man.
Yeah, I love it. I feel like you've seen Zoolander, right?
Yeah, of course.
Hansel, he's so hot right now. I feel like DTF, he's so hot right now.
Man, it's just getting started,
Yeah.
That's the best part is DTF is still fairly new, and like the leaps that we made from, just a few years ago till now, it's night and day.
Man. So now taking it back a little bit to the beginning. So you're there from the ground floor, on the ground floor with DTF Station.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little bit of history on the company DTF Station?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it was around the same time, 2020 is when everyone kept hearing the word DTF. And one of the cool things is my title is product manager. So I was like, hey, bring in all the machines that people are talking about right now. So I had about 4 of the leading DTF printers that people were ordering directly from China. So like we got these machines in crates, no instructions, didn't know how to operate them.
Oh man.
I literally broke 4 machines. Like,
Wow.
and they're not cheap, they're
Yeah.
the commercial DTF printers at the time, head strikes, things weren't connected properly. There's no instructions. The software never worked. And so we legitimately tested 4 of the leading brands. People still use them today, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But one of the things we did was like, hey, like we're better than this. Like let's figure this out, And so I have a crazy boss who, if you don't know him, he's in China half the time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. When I met him and he was talking to us about his travel schedule, I was like, "Oh, you're a machine, bro. This is that dude." Total respect to the commitment.
Yeah.
But man, it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, and I think that's what separates us entirely. But like, even if I'm gonna have a meeting with him, it's like put it on the calendar because I don't know where he's gonna be at, what part of the country, And so what he did, he went to China and he made a partner out there, and it was like, hey, like we just don't want to be another DTF company. We don't want to be those 4 machines that we've tested. Like, how do we become better, And so
Yeah.
we initially started with a few different models that we tested. We're like, hey, this is finally what we like and what we don't like. And so his input in the manufacturing is just the reason we're so far ahead of everybody else. You know,
Yeah.
like his input and his adjustments to machines now, you know, speaks volumes as far as the features our machines have. But we started, you know, with some smaller units, and we've grown from desktop units to commercial units, to UV DTF. And so DTF Station in the last 4 years, you know, we're not just another importer like you see at trade shows, where they might be there for a month, sell a bunch of units, and then they just disappear, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. And then I'm sure as you know, then we get the calls like, hey, this printer broke. I need a good one.
Yeah.
We get that with heat presses all the time. It's like, oh, I got my Amazon heat press broke. Let me order a good one. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
You know, and also being able to like speak to someone in the States. So here at DTF Station, we're based out of California. But not only that, like we have about a dozen dealers in the US, which I love working with, but we've also grown outside the US. We have about 24 countries that DTF Station is sold in. So we are growing at a rapid pace. Yeah.
So going back a little bit about your boss, I like that he called himself the head technician.
Yeah.
And what I thought was wild was, so he's like the CEO, owner, or co-owner, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go over there for training before Heat Press Nation started carrying DTF Station. We go over there for training, and he's training us.
Yeah.
Like I thought we were gonna be working with the technician. He goes, "No, I'm the head technician." Like, and bro, he knows his printers inside and out.
Yeah. You
Like,
know,
that's incredible.
that's one thing that, you know, I love about working at DTF Station is that like he's in the trenches with us, you know,
Yeah.
like when it comes to tech support, if there's something that we haven't seen, like he's the first person to be like, let's figure this out. Why is it doing this? Let's go to the factory and make adjustments, you know? And,
Yeah.
you know, even when we're supporting our dealers or customers, you know, like myself included, I'm always on Discord, you know, talking to your techs or talking to your purchasing team. It doesn't matter. Like we're so heavily involved in the process that like, we're not just some big company selling printers, like we're actually doing it.
Yeah. And then I love that the support is US based.
Yeah.
Because and this is one thing that I know we're proud of here at Heat Press Nation is that our support team is also here in the US. Our repair bays are here in the US. Your repair bays are here in the US. I got to see that actually.
Yeah.
Like where the machines come in for service and your technicians, and I was like, it's here.
Yeah.
And you guys are only a few miles away from us, but it was very impressive to see all that work here.
Yeah,
stateside.
It's been it's been a short 4 years, but it's been a long process, you know, to get to where, hey, like we're established, we're stable when it comes to support. You know, all the parts, everything is out of California. Our technicians are here, and so if, you know, we get the call all the time, like, hey, I bought this machine from China or from a dealer in the States that I can't get a hold of anybody until 9 p.m. tonight because the technician's in China, right? Like, you know, that's why DTF Station is so popular. Is that, you know, I say you can call us and you'll speak to somebody, but honestly, we use Discord. It's instant messaging. You get instant replies. So the support side is amazing. But again, that's kind of what separates us from what else is out there.
Yeah. Is this a fair statement to say that DTF is still relatively new to the point where everybody's going to need support? I don't care what printer you're using.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to need support. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, 100%. You know, even if someone that's already been in the printing industry that has a machine, like, it's not exactly the same. It's very similar. So, but one thing we do really well is we make content. And that's why we make tons of content. You know, even my dealers, not you guys, because you guys are great at this, but some people are like, hey, I need a video for this. I'm like, we have a whole library on this. Like, go to the DTFstation.com website. There's literally a support tab that says videos. Every single machine that we sell, like we have an introduction video, we have installation, troubleshooting, how-to videos on every single product we have. We won't publish it until that's ready. And so, you know, that is the biggest thing when it comes to these machines. It's a lot of unknown. And so if we can make it easier for the end user, we're all about making videos.
Yeah. DTF by nature, I feel like if you're just kind of scaling up, let's say from like vinyl or sublimation, DTF by nature is going to be a bigger learning curve. Yeah. And I appreciate when people like take time to kind of break that curve down a little bit. And that's what you guys do. I mean, it's funny. I say you guys, we guys, but yeah, like I feel like we're, you and me, I feel like we're like similar guys, but like the same age, same time in the industry, working at very similar companies with like same commitment to customers. And it feels really good. I'll say this. It feels really good to be teaming up with people like DTF Station, like Vince.
No, I appreciate
like
that,
you.
Jared.
So yeah,
it means a lot. You know, you guys, I've always followed the content even when I wasn't here, you know, and so even being on this podcast, you know, means a lot because, you know, like you said, we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's a long time coming, you know. I think getting you guys to sell DTF Station products was a huge plus for us, you know, in the industry, on the crafting, entry level, or even like hobbyist, small business side, like you guys are it, right? Like you guys are everywhere. I can't
Thanks, man.
I can't go on YouTube without seeing your guys' content. And like, so you guys are everywhere, and so being able to carry DTF Station, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh no, we're super excited. It's been very, I don't want to say so far, but no, so far like this year, 2024 has just been awesome.
Yeah.
With DTF, I'm wearing DTF right now, bro. Okay, that's the thing that nobody tells you is like once you start getting into DTF printing, all your T-shirts are gonna be DTF. This shirt is DTF. I love it. And just so you know, like, and I'm gonna like really just pause here for the viewers. If you have been hearing bad things like it's so heavy, bro, it's July. It's so cold. This is a gigantic, solid graphic, and I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's not bad. So yeah, big shout out to DTF.
If they are still having that issue, they're probably using the wrong film and they're not using DTF Station Quick Glide. So hand feel isn't an issue for us. You're not using our inks, So that's also another thing. A few years ago, sure, the transfers felt so heavy. I would get that, like screen printers would be like, I'm never going to use that. 2 years go by, I see that same person at the trade show and they're like, all right, how much is the machine? I'm like, yeah, I told you, like,
yep. Yeah. And then for the record, yes, this is printed on a Prestige R2 using Color Prime.
Universal?
There's so many, Universal, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so we have two films. We have the Universal. If you're already using that, stick with it. If you're new, get the Quick Glide. It's instant peel. Honestly, the hand feel is amazing, so use those two films.
Darn it. I'm so used to this one, but now I got to try it. I got to try the Color Glide.
Glide is,
Nice. Okay, so DTF, man, you're there. You're at probably one of the top DTF companies in the country. Yeah. You guys are absolutely kicking butt. And you're talking to people all the time. One thing that, and you've been in this longer than in DTF longer than I have, but one thing I've already heard a lot, and I've seen it in like YouTube videos too, is people talking about like, oh, the market's so saturated. It's over everybody. My next door neighbor has a DTF, blah, blah, like what are your thoughts on that? People who are afraid to get into DTF because the market's so oversaturated.
Yeah, the word you just used is afraid, right?
Yeah.
I think when you hear DTF, when you're coming from nothing, right? It is scary, like, hey, well, this person has a printer. I don't need a printer, right? Like the pie is so big in our industry, right? I think you were telling me a statistic before we started that like the DTF industry is.
Oh yeah.
What is it at?
It's right like now? It's doggone. It's at like 3.2 billion, and in the next few years it'll be somewhere like 3.99, right under 4 billion.
Yeah. So projection, it's still it's substantially growing, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Growing. And dude, 4 billion is a lot of dollars.
Yeah, that pie is really big, and there's no reason you don't get a piece of it, right? The only way you don't is if you don't invest in a machine,
Yeah.
And even then I tell people, DTF is amazing for everybody, but if you're that scared to get into it, just go buy some transfers. Like make your life easier, go buy some transfers, sell to some customers, know that you're going to have some business, and then justify buying a machine, like I want everyone to have a DTF printer, but not everyone needs one, right? Like it's like,
right.
Where are you at in your business cycle? You don't have a business plan? Let's buy some transfers, like get some business and then buy the machine.
Yeah. I think if you, and the cool thing, I'll stop and say this, like all you need is a heat press.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're going to be starting out and you just want to like build some capital to buy your own printer, you can, like you said, order the transfers. All you need is a heat press. Yeah. And then when you grow into that, then you can afford the good stuff.
Exactly.
Like, dude, like that, the R2 that we have downstairs. Every day I contemplate, can I steal this? Like, hey, how can I sneak this out of the room? Because I love it, dude. It's such a breeze to work with.
Yeah, no, it's I've thought about it too. I'm like, will this fit in my living room? I think so. It's small enough. I'm like, do I really want to come home to a DTF printer? I've been at it all day, so
dude,
I'll hold off for now.
Yeah, man. Okay, my only I probably would have like already, but I have a really like the tiniest 2-bedroom little apartment you've ever seen in your entire life, right? And when my son was born, like my office became his bedroom, and so now I'm just like, okay. So as soon as we move, oh, dude, it's on.
So there's a showroom here. I don't know if the printer will be there once Jared moves.
No, we're gonna something's gonna happen to it. No. Okay, so since we're talking about complaints about DTF, I have another one.
Yeah.
And this is actually not my complaint. But it's you hear people kind of just like grumbling, and you know what? I got to be honest. A lot of the complaining videos, when they say what printer they're using, I'm like, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
You bought a garbage printer.
You know, we don't tell them that, but yeah,
we don't tell. Yes, again, this is not my complaint, but what I see a lot is people complaining about the maintenance that's required for DTF printers. Now, I'm gonna pause. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go first.
Mhm.
I've been helping out with the maintenance on our showroom printers, on our classroom printers. I get the daily done in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So like, but I don't want to influence your answer. Like, what do you say? Because also you have to do more maintenance on bigger machines than I do.
Yeah,
and more machines.
So our showroom has tons of equipment, right? And so we have our techs that'll like trade off on Fridays, and they do it. They knock out all the maintenance like half an hour, and there's like a dozen machines, right?
Yeah.
But you know, when you're thinking of DTF, I think, you know, you look back a few years back, you know, 2021 when someone got a machine, yeah, there was tons of maintenance. You know, like you were physically pulling with syringes, you're physically cleaning stuff, you're physically maybe replacing parts all the time, you know, because the machines weren't really well equipped for that, you know, and we're at a point with our machines that it auto cleans, it does its own maintenance. You know, end of day maintenance is very minimal, right? You can do it in 3 minutes. It's literally cleaning a wiper blade, cleaning a cap top, and our print heads actually move over. You can kind of physically see it. Just clean around it. 3 minutes is all it really takes. And so I think the maintenance question is valid because there's a lot of machines out there that need more maintenance than others.
Gotcha.
And so, you know, if you're using a DTF Station product, we have a quick start guide that literally shows a breakdown of the maintenance. It's like, hey, this is your daily maintenance, you know, as needed maintenance if you need to. You know, so it really depends, but we've made it really easy for users to do it. And so the word maintenance scares a lot of people, and I see the complaints, but it kind of goes back to like, well, what printer do you have? Well, that's why you need to do a bunch of maintenance, because it doesn't maintain itself.
Yeah. Now, another question that I get a lot is like, well, what if I want to go on vacation?
Yeah.
Like for a DTF Station printer, like what do you think is like the longest somebody could like go on vacation without any additional special steps?
Yeah. So I think I underestimate, but I want to make sure that the customer's going to be taken care of. You know, so I say 2 weeks is probably at most. You know.
Oh wow.
If you're going on vacation for more than 2 weeks, take me with you, because I want to know where you're going for 2 weeks. But ideally, it's 2 weeks. You know, so if you're going to be gone that long, you can leave the machine on. It'll continue to maintain itself. That's the best part. And so 2 weeks is what I always tell people comfortably.
Okay, that's actually a really long time.
Yeah, I don't advise it, but I mean, after 2 weeks, we have videos. So if you are going to be gone that long, we have videos on what you need to do to your machine to make sure when you come back, it's fine. And that's in the video library as well. So if you go to dtfstation.com, there's a video for that too.
That's perfect. Legit, because I didn't know the answer up until 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
People would ask me and I would say, let me get back to you, but it's probably going to be like 3 days.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. I legit didn't know.
Yeah, as long as you leave the machine on. If you shut it off and you let it sit for 2 weeks, now we're talking something different.
Got it. Okay. Okay, cool. Wow, dude, that's really awesome. And that's why I like having a true expert here. Like, I'm trying my best to become an expert on DTF, but like I can't match your years of experience. And that's what I love, having a true expert here, because I feel like there's so many like little like, and honestly, I think it's clout chasing on YouTube. like to be totally honest, I think not everybody, of course, and not everybody has the same experience.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of what's going on is just clout chasing, people trying to get views. You know, I've used, let me think here. We have, and I'm going to list all the printers we have here in this building. We have the Prestige A4 that's upstairs. We have a downstairs. It's in the tech office now. We have the R2. We have the R2 Pro. We have like 4 different printers here, all used for different things.
Yeah.
We're probably getting a new one soon, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Yeah. Getting another one here, and I haven't had really any major issues with them, and it's been pretty smooth.
Yeah, I know you've had some questions, right? And like,
yes, yeah.
And the cool part is the way you get support is the same way the customer would get support, right? Like, just DM us on Discord. You know, it's quick. It's like instant messaging us. You know, usually something super easy.
It's so fast. Yeah, it's so fast. And I will say this again, like you said, I use the same channels that you would use if you had a DTF Station printer, and it's quick, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, shout out to the homie, your technician,
Luciano.
Yes, Luciano. Oh, dude, he's the best. I love him.
Yeah,
he's so darn fast.
That guy lives on Discord. So like, if you're watching this and you have a DTF Station printer, or you're thinking about getting one, you're probably gonna interact with him at one point.
All right, Vince. So now, speaking of complaints, and this, I gotta preface what I'm about to ask because it is a very sensitive topic. Yeah. There was, as I'm sure you've seen the video, there was a gentleman, you know, unfortunately he got cancer, and his claim is that it was from inhaling the DTF powders. And again, I know it's a sensitive topic. It's somebody's life. So I'm not trying to belittle or make light of that situation.
Yeah.
Personally, there's so many unknowns, so many variables to where like I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. Of course, I want to be safe when I do DTF here. What are your thoughts on like the safety of, especially like when it comes to like the powder or the curing,
Yeah, no, safety is, super important, because we're selling these products to home businesses, we're selling it to places where they're going to use it every single day. And so, it's really important that you're using the right products, first of all, so
Right.
when it comes to the powder, even the inks as well, like there needs to be certifications, any DTF station product, you have access to the SDS sheets on our website, so if you're a viewer at home and you're like, I don't know if I want to use the powder, if you're getting a powder from somewhere else, like ask them for it, because not everyone's spending the money to get it tested, that's the scary part right now is that people are buying powder and buying supplies from overseas. Or
they're just getting the cheapest stuff.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it's the safest either, like, so that would be my biggest concern is like, make sure if you're not getting it from a reliable source that you don't have access to the safety data sheets, then you should probably be using DTF station products, and I'm not just saying that. We have the certifications, you can check it online, but there's best practices, I actually came out with a video, after that video was released, and hopefully, it's an awful thing that's happened, and so we want to make sure moving forward that everyone is protected, and so I made a video where it's literally like, hey, if you're operating this machine, we've always pushed ventilation, have a purifier, please change your filters, please have your windows open, when you get your machine, there's gloves with it, that way you're not touching the powder. A few years ago at a trade show, I remember seeing a guy like grabbing the powder and throwing it in the air like he was LeBron James, like, but
Sorry.
it was at a trade show and there was a bunch of people around and I was like, dude, what is this guy doing? Like, even if it has certifications, like, why is it in the air? We don't want to breathe that in,
Right,
and so
right.
I think it's, obviously a sore subject, but I think it's needed, I think our industry needs to be like, hey, here's a reality check that there's still things you need to do to be safe, and so
like crayons are non-toxic, but I'm not eating crayons for dinner.
Exactly. You shouldn't be throwing the powder in the air, like little things like that, and even, I know the inks as well, people are just throwing anything inside their machine and putting it on shirts. Like, you're wearing it, you're breathing those fumes in, and so just be safe, guys. Like that's the biggest thing. If you haven't already, I made a video, like I said, on just best safety precautions, but it's very basic stuff like ventilation and then changing your purifiers. If you have a Miro, if you have a Phoenix Air oven, you need to change your purifiers. People.
How often?
It's suggested monthly.
Okay, good.
And not everyone's doing it, and so I know like there's really no best way to tell unless you start seeing smoke because now it's clogged basically, and there's nothing coming through.
Got it.
If you wait till it's clogged, like, and you continue to print, you're going to be breathing that in. So make sure you're changing your filters often.
Yeah. Nice, man. I really appreciate you kind of giving some clarity and some authority on this subject.
Yeah.
Because what I have seen a lot, and this is, again, not to disrespect anybody, but like a lot of like speculation of like, well, I don't know. People who don't even do DTF printing, well, I don't know. And it's like, oh, okay, well, so it's really good to have like an authority. And what I didn't know, which I should have known, is that the safety data sheets are accessible.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I'm learning something today too, you guys. All right. I should have known that.
Yeah, I know. And I think right now, like you had mentioned earlier about YouTube, like there's people that are piggybacking off of it and like using it to get views where I'm like, like you're not getting the right message across, like you're scaring people away from DTF, but yet like you're continuing to do DTF, so like instead of scaring people, how about educate them, let them know, hey, this is what you should be doing. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask, like if you want to wear the gloves we give you, wear the gloves, but as long as that information is out there, like safety's first.
Okay, so I have to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here at Heat Press Nation, we have this saying, like, we don't believe there's one like printer for everybody, but there's like the right printer for you, like the customer, right?
Yeah.
So what kind of customer do you feel which is like a good candidate to bring on a DTF printer?
That's a great question. I think because at DTF Station, we offer printers for like every business cycle, right? So like entry-level users, we have the A4. Small businesses, the R2. And then if you're a production shop, we have the XL2 or like 24-inch models. So we try to be that gap for every single customer. But is DTF for everybody? Probably not. If you're just starting out, like we started out the hard way, right? We were cutting, weeding vinyl just like a bunch of people probably at home. You know,
Yep.
when you've gone through the hassle of layering 3 colored vinyl to make one t-shirt and it takes you 45 minutes and I got to do 10 of them and you're charging like $10 a shirt, right? Like it just doesn't make sense, right?
You're calling me out, dude. Like
you're the master of it. Yeah. And so
dude,
at
yep.
that point, it just doesn't make sense to use vinyl. And vinyl is still awesome, you know, if you're doing like one color designs or like, you know, glitters and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Continue to do that. You know, I'm not saying don't do that, but you know, it comes to a point where you have 2 options actually. You can buy transfers or you can get invested in an A4. And I always tell people, hey, if you're on the fence, buy a couple of transfers, sell them. If it works, great, awesome. You can keep doing it, but it comes to a point where it's like you're spending so much money on transfers now.
Yeah.
Where like you could have already bought the printer, you know, and a bunch of your profits going to the transfer business. It's not you. So again, anyone that's in the printing industry that wants to get there, we have options for you. But again, I always say go through the mud, you know, weed some vinyl first, you know, see if that's for you. If it's not, get a DTF printer.
So like, who would you say are your like biggest customers in the sense of, is it like t-shirt shops? Is it custom I don't know, like hat people? Like, I don't know, like, well, like what are really popular businesses that are incorporating DTF?
Yeah, so that's actually my favorite part is because we have a printer for everybody, DTF is more accessible to everybody, right? So I would say a few years ago, it was probably only for small businesses, right? Like because there was no reliable small format option, you know? And so now mom and pop shops are getting it, people that are just starting out. I have tons of people that are like, hey, my kid has been watching videos all day long, like he wants to get in the industry. You know, we don't really have any experience. I'm like, you watch these videos and they come back to me and then, you know, we have a machine for them. So we target every audience, you know, and that's why I'm so excited with HPN Nation because I know a lot of their users, I don't want to say entry level, but they're just getting started, right? Like
we serve the range.
Yeah, they need to talk to someone to be like, hey, like what works best for me, you know? And so there's a machine for them. And again, it's not, you said a whole range. And so entry level all the way to production to commercial use. DTF is basically for everybody. But again, if you're just starting out, watch our content, watch your content, you know, make sure it's the right fit for you. Call these guys, ask a lot of questions. You know, there's no dumb questions.
Yeah. Now, one thing that we actually haven't even touched on yet is that DTF, I feel like the 2 main businesses are like garment decoration. Like you're turning your customers, you're turning over a finished t-shirt.
Yeah.
And then you have these transfer businesses that they're selling just transfers to other heat pressers.
Man, it opens a whole nother avenue of product, right? So I have tons of customers that will start with an A4, you know, maybe down the road, they're like, hey, like my business is taking off. I need something faster, something bigger. You know, with DTF Station, you know, we have a machine for them. So we get them into either an R2 Pro or maybe an L2, something bigger. But now they're not only printing, you know, for their brand, they're printing transfers. They become theirs and they already have a customer base, you know? They're selling to someone who now is like, wait, I'm going to buy transfers from her. Let me go get a heat press. And now I'm going to go get a printer, right? And so it grows organically like that.
Yeah, man, dude, I think that's so cool that it's in just one printer. You essentially have 2 businesses.
Yeah.
And you can kind of, whichever you want to do, you could do one, the other, or both.
Yeah.
Little of each. Like, it's so flexible because it's the same print.
Exactly.
It's just, what do you do? Are you packaging it and shipping it, or are you heat pressing it yourself? Like,
yeah, the success stories, you know, like we have customers, like you said, that print for themselves. They have their own brand. That's all they print. And then we have some that are like, hey, my business is good, but I can do transfers, you know, like the reality of it is, you know, and one of the other cool parts is, you know, if I sold transfers to you and you love it, you know, I'm using the Prestige R2. You can go get the Prestige R2 and make the same exact quality, you know? And so, you know, the recipe is not a secret, you know, it's out there what people are using. And so it's accessible to everybody.
Yeah. Nobody's gatekeeping their DTF. Like no, this is what it is. And you can too. Like,
yeah, you go to a trade show and you're like, that's the machine they're using. You know, there's no secret here. So that's the best part though, is that, you know, DTF, we have it accessible for everybody and there's no perfect fit. It's a fit for everybody.
Gotcha. I love it, man. Now, DTF Station, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just these bad boys.
Yeah.
There's something that's super cool. I saw it when we went over for training and I was like, what the heck is that? Mm-hmm. You guys also carry something called UV DTF.
Yeah.
Please. I think that's one of the coolest things to come out in a long time.
Yeah.
Please, for the people, tell them what UV DTF is.
Yeah. So UV DTF is taking off like crazy. If you haven't heard about it, after this video, you're probably going to look it up and you're going to find it.
Yeah.
Think of it as a DTF printer without the shaker dryer. So we don't need additional equipment. It prints UV ink on an adhesive. and that adhesive gets laminated. It's all one machine. It's not very big, so you can have it at your home. But basically, we're making like high quality decals, which I don't like to call them stickers because they're higher quality than the sticker.
Yes, they're much different.
But there's no weeding or cutting, and so that is the biggest selling point, is that I can send 50 jobs, it prints, gets laminated, and I end up with a roll of these decals. I literally just peel it off, slap it on any hard, non-porous substrate, and it's gonna stay.
It's very permanent. That was one thing that tripped me out. It's very permanent. And then just to kind of expand on that, and so you say there's no cutting or weeding.
Yeah.
I know, and this is like no shade, but like you have people like buying like the BN20, BN2, for stickers and stuff. And that machine, it cuts it. It'll print it, then feed your roll back, and then cut it. So your printer, it's not just taking time to print, it's also almost doubling that time to cut it too. So this printer's out of commission. So if you want to speed up your print production, you have to buy the printer, and then you have to buy a separate cutter. Take your sheets out, then feed them into the cutter, and so now you're focusing on like two machines. It's still taking extra time. Whereas something like the Aries that you guys carry, the 113, right? Yeah, like it's one machine rolling out a finished product.
Print and cut machines are awesome, but you're printing on basically like a vinyl material, where this is printing ink on adhesive, and then it gets transferred over. So it's literally just the ink that gets transferred over, which is the craziest part. I just came back from a sign show, and I can't tell you how many people came up and like, what is this? Like, wait, how does this work? And I see them just like staring at it like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, what is going on here? It's printing on adhesive, it gets laminated, slap it on. We were putting it on. We had like coasters, we had drinkware, we had equipment we were putting it on. Pretty much any hard substrate it'll go on. And like you mentioned, it's pretty darn permanent,
Yeah.
But again, the people at the sign show were just, their mind was blown. Like, wait a minute, like what's the catch here? Like, what is going on? And the coolest part is that if you have a DTF printer right now, the software is the same exact to use for the DTF UV.
Oh, nice. Digi-Rip?
It uses Digi-Rip across the board.
Beautiful.
And there's no shaker dryer. There's no special electrical. It's all 110. So, customer comes to you and says, hey, I want 50 shirts and I want, 50 coasters or 50 custom Stanleys or whatever it is,
Yeah. Or maybe they just want the decals to include in like their packaging. Yeah. That's a really cool promo item too.
Yeah. And you can do that, and so the cross sale right now, the people that are really taking advantage of it are the people that already have a DTF printer that are like, I'm onto something. I'm going to get it. It's not saturated at all. You can buy UV DTF transfers right now. They're so expensive. It's like for like a 12 by 12 like gang sheet, it's like $12, right? We were doing the math to do it at the show. It was like 80 cents completed. Wow. Right? So it's costing you 80 cents to make it. People are selling it for over $10, right?
Yeah.
So
well, that's actually great. So it's kind of like the DTF printers where, hey, you could sell the finished product or you could sell just the stickers.
Exactly.
You could apply it to something or just sell just the decal. Sorry, not sticker.
Yeah, it's not a sticker. I think it's the quality is, I don't think it's fair to even call it a sticker. I think that's why I refrain from it. But also what you can put it on, like people ask like, well, what would we use it for? I have customers that get the Aries and put it on car windows. They put them on walls. They put them, really specific to what your business needs are, or just sell them the transfers, Then the customer end user can put it on whatever they want.
Yeah. So like, I cannot wait to get the Aries here in the office because and this is a free business idea for anybody who wants to steal it. So my son at his daycare, everything has to be labeled. Mm-hmm. Everything. If he takes a sippy cup, his clothes, his sweaters and stuff. Like someone has stolen his sweater, and then we accidentally, teacher sent him home with another kid's sweater. So what you can do is with the stickers, I'm already thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna sticker up all his stuff.
Yeah,
it's so permanent. It's definitely baby proof, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, dude, that's a great business idea. I'm just gonna sell all the other parents in his daycare.
There we go.
On named stickers, and then with a DTF printer, you could print little labels for their little sweaters and stuff. So I'm like, I'm already gonna make money off of all my fellow daycare parents. All right.
That's the beauty of it, right? Like your use for it is so different than someone else's, right? And so when people say, hey, the t-shirt market's oversaturated, well, if everyone's only doing t-shirts, I get it. But like with the UV DTF, you could put it on any hard substrate. So whatever you want to put it on, go ahead. It's not going to be the same as the next person. But we were talking earlier before, the word UV is kind of like, when I first pitched it to you guys, it's like, I don't know about UV. Like, we're not, that's not our wheelhouse. But what's really cool is that, it's not much different than the traditional DTF printer. It's just the inks we're using. And also too, like, it's a UV ink. It's not a water-based ink. So it's way more forgiving, So in terms of maintenance, it's actually way less.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that whole 2 week.
Sold.
When we go to trade shows, like, I'll just lock the carriage, put it in a crate, and ship it off. Like, I'm not concerned because it's not a water-based ink. It's not going to dry out.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So if you're scared of maintenance when you hear the word UV, it's less than your DTF printer right now.
Mm-hmm. And what's cool about it, and I know we lightly touched on it, but it's really cool to see that everything is built in.
Yeah.
The lamination, it's a very self-contained machine.
Yeah.
I do have a question though. Are there any like fumes to be concerned about with the DTF printer or with the UV DTF printer?
So UV ink in general has that, like, I call it the trade show smell, where you walk in, you're like, it just smells familiar.
Yeah.
I do have customers that you run it out of their home. Just get a purifier next to it just to be safe.
Oh, okay.
Our inks have certification on it, and that comes with all of our units, but just to be safe, some ventilation is always recommended. Have a window next to it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the same thing with a heat press. Like, especially if you're heat pressing brand new shirts.
Yeah.
You get that new shirt smell, and it's cool at first, but if you're pressing like 100 shirts, bro, you want to be pressing it involved in. I don't care if it's 100% cotton, if everything's safe. Like, the shirts, they have a smell.
I love how you said the new shirt smell, because, like, you'd only know that smell if you're physically heat pressing, and it's like distinct, right? So
yeah,
same thing when I say trade show, it has that like UV smell, but just ventilation is fine. And the coolest part is, like you said, it's all one machine. Like, you don't need additional stuff. My favorite part of having it at a trade show is just hooking it up to the taker reel and just send a couple hundred jobs, and I can go walk the trade show. I don't have to babysit it. I don't have to worry about the shaker being straight, any of that stuff.
Dude, that's beautiful, man. I love it.
I can't wait for you guys to get it here, because
yeah,
I'm gonna see your son's daycare, man. He's gonna have all sorts of different stickers on him.
Everybody, awesome. All the parents, they're all my new customers now. So you guys are on the trade circuit a lot. You get to talk to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure you get a lot of like in-person like customer feedback, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any like cool stories, or like, I don't know, like it must be neat to be able like to sell a product that is like directly affecting people's businesses? Do you have any like cool like feedback that you get from customers?
Yeah, my favorite thing is seeing someone at a trade show and then going back like 2 years later. I see a lot of people, so like I remember some faces, but people will be like, hey, I bought the machine, 2 years ago from you, and like I'm killing it, like they're like, hey, and they'll show me on their phone like, this is what we're making, and it gets me excited to see like success stories, but probably one that stands out to me the most is I have a lady, her name is Christina Tran. Shout out to Christina. She was just a customer that reached out to me one day for support with her machine, and like she was willing to get her hands dirty on the machine. She had like the first generation of our printers, so she was like very hands-on. Yeah. And I think it got to a point where she's like, this was easy. Like, but she created a Facebook group to support other people just because.
Dude, that's sick.
And it speaks volumes, because she started with this entry-level machine. She continues to help people to this day. Her Facebook group has like over 1,000 people, which is pretty rad. But I know now she has like an R2 Pro. She has an Aries 113. Like, she is killing it, And so from someone that I was helping with her small little designs with software related, or even the printer, now she's helping other people and she's killing it on the business side.
Dude, see, that's what I love to hear, is when people are like making money off of it.
Yeah.
And what I like to say is, like, again, usually for like the smaller products, like because with just a heat press, like a vinyl cutter, let's say, like, hey, maybe you can like be full time, but at the very least, dude, you can go on a good vacation.
Yeah.
With the money you make off your little side hustle, right? Heat press, vinyl cutter, and then when you start scaling up to like bigger equipment that's going to allow you more output, like, oh, you're not just paying for vacation, like, dude, you're like, that's like a second. You could like retire your spouse with that, or live off of that,
I've had people turn it into their full-time job, where it's like,
dude,
it's a hobby to a small business, to where it's like, I'm so busy that I'm making more money doing this. Like, I'm going to spend a few hours, pressing shirts. I'm going to let the printer print, and so those are the stories that I love to hear, like, especially at trade shows, when someone's made that jump from hobbyist crafter to like, Vince, I do this full time. And sometimes even me, I'm like, dang, like, you're killing it. Like, what am I doing here? Like, but yeah, those are the stories that I love to hear. So if you go to trade shows and you see me, let me hear your stories. I'd love to hear them.
Yeah. The stories that I love, but that I also hate, is when somebody that I helped get them into their first heat press, or they saw a video and now they're doing this, and then their business is doing so big that now they make more money than me. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
absolutely.
oh, yeah, maybe I should follow your advice. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah.
That kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's like, maybe an R2 needs to show up at your house one day,
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna just sneak it out. What the heck?
But yeah, those are the stories that I love, and we have customers all over the country, and so different success stories, and yeah, it's the best.
That's exciting, man. I feel like that would probably make the trade show circuit worth it. Speaking of which, you guys do a ton of trade shows. Like, where can people find you next?
Yeah.
Around the time that this podcast gets released.
Yeah. So Printing United is the big one in our industry.
Okay.
It's September 10th through the 12th.
Yes.
It's in Las Vegas. DTF Station will have its own booth there, which is pretty awesome. It's going to be massive. We're going to have new products showcasing.
I'm excited.
So I know you mentioned you might be there. If you are, I'm sure we'll get a lot of content filmed. But yeah, we go to tons of trade shows trying to get our name out there with different dealers. But Vegas is the one that we're most excited about. It is massive. If you've never been to a trade show, it might be a little overwhelming, this particular one, but make sure you come by the DTF Station booth and say hi. But we have new products on the horizon that you guys are going to love. Yeah.
Now, I totally get what you're saying, where it might be overwhelming, but if you can kind of center yourself and take a few days to go, you'll learn so much.
Yeah,
so much.
You have to go for at least the 3 days, right?
This
show, I was telling Jared, from the parking lot to the booth, it's almost a mile. Like it feels longer than that when you're walking with a backpack, but it's about a mile walk, and it's worth it though. If you're in the industry, even thinking about it, go there, see what's out there, get some ideas, maybe get inspired by what's out there.
Yeah.
See how that can fit your business, or maybe there's something you didn't know that you needed for your business.
Also, one thing that I like about the trade shows is it lets me know what I don't want to do. Like sometimes I'll go and I'll see a booth that's, offering like this supplementary product. They're doing this, they're doing that. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool, but I don't think I want to do that.
No, yeah.
I love screen printing. I have so much respect for screen printers.
Yeah.
And then every time I go to the show, I'm like, that's why I don't.
You see those like $1 million machines that are the size of like this building,
it's really cool. Or not even screens. Maybe you think you want to do laser cutting and you see it and then you realize, oh, maybe I do, or maybe I don't. Yeah. Like, I think it's just as valuable to know what you don't want to do.
Exactly.
It helps you narrow in on what you do want to do.
Yeah, man, the stuff we see at trade shows, the size of the equipment too. I'm like, how do they even get it places, which is pretty cool because we show up with the R2 and it's like, here's this tiny little machine next to a machine the size of the building where they're like, I want that instead, So, but if you are in the area, September 10th through the 12th, make sure you're at Printing United. Again, I'll be there. I just came back from a science show. So if you are, wherever you're at in the country, there's going to be a trade show near you. We'll probably be there. So I know like Printing United, ISA, GPX, they have shows all over. And so if you're not sure, check out those websites.
Nice. I'm just waiting for them to make like a Hawaii trade show.
Oh man,
the people of Hawaii need that.
Yeah,
and we need to go.
I mean, if you do go, let me know. I'll go with you. We'll just make a trip out of it.
We'll just ship like one printer over there. Yeah,
make it easy. We do have some customers in Hawaii actually, so maybe we'll just have them bring the printer.
Dude, who gets to go on those setup visits?
Oh man, that particular one of our techs went out there. Yeah, wasn't me.
Send me next time. I'll help them. Dude, Vince, I really, really appreciate you for taking the time to come by here to talk to us. Before I let you go, two things. One, what's new on the horizon?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What do we have to wait till the show?
It will be at Printing United, so it's not a secret. Okay. I think this is going to come out right before Printing United. So if you can't make it, it'll be available fairly soon. But one thing I'm like the most excited about is that we have 2 cutters coming out. So it's actually, they're flatbed cutters, but one of them is to pair with a 24-inch DTF printer, and the other one is to pair with a 13-inch DTF printer. So the R2 or the XL2. But what's unique about it is that it's a flatbed, and it's not that big actually, but it'll actually perf cut your designs. So it'll like punch them out basically, but it'll pull the roll. And it'll continue to pull the roll so it can cut a full roll of DTF transfers. So you print 100 yards of media, you hook it up to this cutter, it's going to cut the whole thing out for you. It's pretty sweet, and it runs on DigiRip. We're excited. I've tested GraphTech, Suma, all these different cutting brands, and they can only guarantee about 3 meters of cutting. A flatbed cutter can cut the whole roll. So,
dude, that's wild.
Yeah, if you have a DTF printer, it's a no-brainer.
I am so pumped to check that out.
Yeah, And we also have I don't know if I can even talk about this, but the R1. I know it's a little early to discuss.
I've heard rumors.
Yeah,
we'll cut it out if we have to.
No, yeah. If you're gonna be at the show, it's gonna be there, and it'll be available shortly after. But the A4 has been amazing for us. I just know the question we get all the time is like, hey, I want it in 13-inch. So we basically took our R2 and we call it the R1.
Yeah,
it's very similar, the same, I want to say industrial like quality build inside of it, the same bearings, everything, just on a 13-inch version. So it's gonna change the small market.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that is exciting. Maybe that's the one that I'll steal. I mean, that's the one that I'm doing.
Yeah, so we're super excited for the R1, and then also our cutters. There's some new shakers coming out, so
Sick.
More reason to go to Printing United.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm like so pumped about this now. Okay, so other thing, where can everybody find DTF Station? Like online, socials, tell us all.
We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. We're trying to grow that following still. I'm going out there and making a bunch of shorts. But Heat Press Nation has tons of videos as well. So, if you're looking for more content, you'll find this podcast there as well. But follow us on Instagram, follow us on YouTube. Check out the resources that are available even before you buy it. Like, I do that. I don't know if you do as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like what do I find? Like, let me watch the videos before I make the purchase, knowing what I'm getting myself into. So everything's available online at dtfstation.com.
Awesome. Dude, well, Vince, again, thank you so much for coming by. It's been a blast catching up over heat press stuff.
Yeah, man. Our time went by super fast.
It feels like 2 minutes.
Super casual. Yeah, man. I appreciate it, Jared. And like I said, we've kind of grown in this industry together. And the fact that we get to work together again is pretty awesome. So
I love it.
I appreciate you, Jared.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Customizing Culture Podcast by Heat Press Nation. Once again, I'm Jared Barbosa, and today my guest has been none other than Vince Herrera, DTF Station. Thank you, guys. We'll see you.
Thanks, guys.